All right, today on Ambition Garage, I finally get around to putting out the first video in like a month. I'm really sorry, I suck at video editing, and I have a wife and kids and life. Yay! Knuckles, hood vents. I get a surprise from a buddy of mine, and I mess with the exhaust for the 9,467,315th time. Or somewhere close to that. Well, what is happening, everybody? I am, as you can tell, in the car. I'm on the road. I've got a couple of errands to run. I'm actually headed to Buddy's house. Dylan, my man, again, coming to save the day. He had that same parts Miata that I got that torsion diff out of. He has some top latches, and the car's just sitting there, so he was kind enough to let me take those latches. So I'm heading to Dylan's to go grab those, and then I've got to turn around and go back to the other side of Birmingham. Downtown, there is a place called Atlas Welding Supply. I need to get some shielding gas, some C25 for the welder, and today, I think we're going to get some stuff done that I've been wanting to get done. The knuckles, that has to happen today. And the exhaust still sounds horrendous when I drove it. I drove it around a little bit yesterday on my day off, and it's just so rattly, and it's even more like tinny and loud and terrible. So it's time to fix that. So I actually got a turbo muffler, and the car's got like 70 horsepower probably, and the turbo mufflers are so restrictive. It would definitely quiet it down, and that would be nice, but I'm afraid A, it will quiet it down too much, and B, it will be too restrictive and turn my 70 horsepower into like 60, 65. And that's just, I'm already on the border of like not even being able to keep the tires lit on that thing. So I'm going to go ahead and take that turbo muffler back and swap it out for probably a dual chamber, Flowmaster, Flow Effects, or whatever they have there. There's a ton of companies that make those chambered mufflers now. And I like the chambered muffler on a 4-cylinder because it actually adds some like depth to some bass, if you will, to the tone. It's not as tinny. I did that on the last Miata, that 1.8 Miata that I was talking about that I had. That's what I put on it, was one of those Flow Effects dual chambers, and it worked out really well. The car sounded great. This one will probably be a little bit louder because that car had a factory cat, but it's my race car, so I'm not as concerned. I just want the sound to be a little bit better and just a little bit quieter. So we're gonna do that, and I got that hood, so I want to cut some vents in there. I used to have vents in my other hood that I had that came on my car, and I'm gonna do the same thing to this one because I thought it looked really good. So I've got to get a couple small things for that. So, yep. I am going to, I'm going to hit the road, put some miles on the Benz, and I will get back with you, guys and gals, when I get back home. So, heck yeah, let's get some work done. Alrighty. I just got back. I had to do all kinds of running around. So I ran, as I said, I ran up to Pell City. My man Dylan hooked me up yet again. So there's 1 and 2 latches, and I got the screws in this pouch. Then I left there and I grabbed a refill tank, C25 for the welder, and my gauge that was broken and saying that I had 1,000 PSI there, 1,000 pounds of pressure. Yeah, got a replacement for that. And they swapped that turbo muffler. It only cost me $4 more for this, and it's a much better design. Hopefully it does quiet it down, and we're gonna add a flex joint. And this time I got the tailpipe expansion, rented that. So that should help not make it fit as crappy. Plus the exhaust is 2 1/4, and that muffler is 2 1/2. So I'm gonna actually have to flare the 2 1/4 to meet up with that muffler. But it'll work better than trying to like fill in a giant gap. And last but not least, went to Lowe's and grabbed me some chicken mesh because we are going to cut this hood today. So I'm gonna take a quick gander at one of these pictures, and you can see right there I had cut these hood that was on the car, and when I parted it out, I sold it like I did everything else because I'm an idiot. But so on the bottom side of this hood, you can see that section there. I'm actually going to cut that brace out and leave basically just like that little bit there. And I'll just run that chicken mesh in there and glue that in. So we're going to cut both those sides out and cut us an opening so I can make these vents again. So I'll probably actually take the hood off and do it that way. It's easier to do it. I'll kind of down to the bottom and the top 2 corners there, that triangle, I'll just drill some holes and then run my cutoff wheel up to them. That should make it pretty clean. That's how I did it the last time, and I thought it looked good. So, and once I have the turbocharger on there, that turbo sits right below that. So it works out really, really well. It helps some of that heat kind of escape. So, all right, I'm going to get you guys set up and start putting stuff together, and I think it's time to let's get to work. Well, started getting everything cut off. This is the old crappy tinny crap muffler. That damn thing is heavy, bro. Like, heavy. It's gonna kill my quarter-mile times. The tailpipe expansion tool that I rented from Advanced, she crapped it bad. Where did you go? I don't know. There it is. So this guy, you can see, I broke one of their teeth. So I'm still going to try and use it. I've got to do this piece. I'm going to basically replace that resonator because that resonator was kind of making noise as well. But the problem is I can't do the muffler and that front piece at the same time because then everything is going to... yeah, I think it'll just take longer and make it harder. So I may actually put that mid-pipe piece back in because it bolts to the front of the car, to the header, and kind of locates where that muffler flange is. And then I'll bolt that muffler flange on and get the muffler set and the exhaust. Tack all that in place, get the brackets in place, get those in the hangers, get everything tacked up, and then unbolt the mid pipe and unbolt that muffler, burn everything in, cut this mid pipe, and start replacing that resonator with that flex joint. So let me get you guys set up again in a little bit better position, and we'll get after it again. All right, I got the muffler on and welded. I actually purposely kind of angled that tip because I'm hoping the sound will go kind of down and away. I know that may just be stupid. Y'all may be like, yeah, you're an idiot, which I am. So, let's hear what it sounds like real quick. Oh, wow, that's way quieter. Okay, it's definitely still a little loud, which I kind of still wanted, but oh my God, the tone is so much better. Oh, and I think I was tripping about that resonator. I think I might have had a bolt loose, because nothing is rattling now. Well, that's absolutely wonderful. That sounds way better than I thought it would. Cool. Yeah, I definitely am excited about that. I've got to do this other one under here because that's kind of temporary bolted. Man, I really don't want to right now. Everything seems just so good. But I know if I don't, that it's going to vibrate itself like crazy. So, God, I just have to do this. Okay. All right. So I went ahead and set this thing down on the ground. I am going to try and go over to a buddy's shop this week and see if I can use his lift anyway. And I need to hear how good this thing sounds, because it sure seems like it's going to sound so much better. Where are you? So let's do this. These things are not good. That's fine. The whole passenger side's on the rocker. Fun. Oh my God, it is so much better. Oh shoot, the hood's open. Hold on. Once again. Quick spin around the neighborhood. Oh God, I can already say it is so much better. It's not like all around. Woo! Low car does low things. Oh my God, I can actually like make it somewhat quiet if I want. All right, so I'm back at the garage. That was awesome. The car sounds great. I'm so excited. Like, finally, this thing sounds good. Look at this. This is the muffler that I took off. And yeah, that is a god-awful noise. So that's why I went ahead and replaced on it, is because I can't, that rattling noise. It sounded like the clutch was coming out. It sounded like drive shaft bolts had fallen out. I mean, it was terrible. Like everything, the noises are all gone that it was making yesterday when I drove it. So that makes me feel good. I've got the hood up. I'm about to take this thing off. And I just got it on there yesterday, but that's fine. I'm going to take it off. And I've got to try and find like something I can set it on that won't dent it. I mean, it's not in great shape. It looks like it's had some hail damage, but I don't want to make it any worse. And I need to get to the bottom side so I can kind of make my marks and drill a couple holes and then start cutting. So let me get set up. I really have to charge my phone, and yeah, I got to charge my phone. Maybe I'll grab a bite to eat and let it charge for a minute, and I'll just come back and we'll hit a time lapse, and I'll start popping this hood off, doing some surgery, and then yeah, maybe I'll get this thing up in the air and get the wheels blown off it and start taking the knuckles off as well. And I don't know, maybe while it's up in the air, I'll get a new wind in my sails towards that flex piece and the exhaust. Right now, it's not looking good. But whatever. Okay. It's way more fun watching somebody else work.
Yeah, because, it's not you.
Exactly. All right, next day. I decided not to do all that stuff last night and just decided to do it today. So, I went and drove it over to a buddy's shop. I've got the hood off. And what we're doing here, I started one side. So, this is what I'm gonna do. I cut the braces out. It's got a brace that goes across here, a couple little ears. So I cut these out and I hole saw the corners, and then I'll just take the death wheel and that'll solve that problem. So I'm gonna set you guys up, and you can see me do the other side and hopefully not ruin a hood. If I do, meh. All right, went ahead and cut those from the top side, just kind of clean everything up, grind them down. It is way bigger than the last hood I did. The last one, kind of around these edges, I left like an inch, probably 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And that's what I kind of attached that mesh to. And on this particular one, I'm just not gonna do that. I mean, I'm gonna put mesh in it, but I'm probably gonna end up taking a piece of cardboard and cutting it to that opening. I'll just take one of these home and cut it to that opening and make it a little bit smaller and make kind of like a receptacle for it, so I can put that mesh in and kind of press that so it'll actually kind of pop up even with the surface of the hood. And then I'll just turn around and attach it here. I just use like a glue. I'll be honest with you, I think the last time that I did this, I used liquid nails. And on the other hood, that sounds sketchy, but on the other hood, using the liquid nails, I had a turbo fire. My dipstick, I had so much blow by. The dipstick popped up and oil shot onto the exhaust housing like mid-drift, hot lapping it, like instantaneous fire. And it was on fire for 10 to 15 seconds before it got put out. and the mesh was still fine. You couldn't even tell anything happened on the bottom side with that liquid nail. So say what you will, that's what I'm going to use to attach it. So anyway, I'll probably actually get the glue like set up, and I'll just hold it in with like sheet metal screws. But I'm going to try and make a piece to kind of with the opening of that to form around the that mesh and kind of get it to pop up a little bit, make it a little bit even. So you'll see that a little bit later, but I mean, that's really all it is to that hood, and it's really easy to do. It's aluminum. It cuts really well. Get a good cutoff wheel. There was a fresh cutoff wheel on there, and you couldn't tell the difference on if I used it or not. So anybody with a Miata, this is a good upgrade to do, especially if you have a turbocharger, because legit, the turbo is directly here. This is where it sits. So that it's perfect for like a turbo car. So definitely, if you guys have a Miata and want to do that, I would recommend just doing it. It's so easy. I use the 1 7/8 hole saw. If I had to go back and do it again, I would use probably a 2-inch, like an 1 7/8 at the back, and then like a 2 to 2 1/4, 2 1/2. Just see what fits that opening best, and it'll save you from having to clean up on the edges. But honestly, for what it is, it'll be fine. So on to the next. All right, well, I apologize. I'm having to make 2 videos because I'm having issues uploading stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end this one here, and we'll pick up part 2 on the next video. I'm just gonna try and upload them basically back to back. So you should be able to watch them. Again, I apologize for my lack of video editing space on your iPhone. I'm cheap. What do you want? I'll see you in the next one.